Okay, in this video, I'm just going to apply the two bug fixes that I mentioned in the other video, just so you don't leave the two bugs. They'll affect things later on. So I'm just going to fix those two bugs first. So one of them was the CSS bug. So I'm opening styles.css, and it was to do with the brick, and it was the transform origin. So I'm using Notepad++ here, and that should be able to help me. It knows I'm doing CSS. So it's transform origin, and we wanted to put 0%, 0%, so that we scale from the top left-hand corner. Okay, and that fixed the collision and visual render issue. The other thing we needed to fix, so we need to make sure we save that. Remember, it's red when it needs to be saved. The other thing was in brick, it was the collision code. I stupidly put an OR in collision check. So I'll look for collision check, and you can do a search. So I'm in brick. If I'm looking for collision, you can just do collision check, and it'll go to it like it's just done there. Okay, so you can do Control F like you can in all programs. It's a standard search, and we need to change this OR, which is the double pipe there, to ampersand, 2 ampersands. Okay, so that was just that quick fix. Right, now what we're going to do in this video, what's quite annoying when you're testing a level, let's say you wanted to manually test, so you didn't want the demo running, you've actually got to not miss, otherwise you lose the ball. And if I'm checking a layout, how I've laid my bricks out, I'm actually destroying the bricks. So I want some sort of system where I can turn off the bricks getting killed and the ball getting killed, so that I can actually look at my layout and check that I've got things in the right place. So in order to do this, we're going to add some global variables. I could just leave the demo running because the paddle follows the ball, but the demo only lasts for 10 seconds because I hard coded that. So we ought to make it a little bit more flexible so that the demo can last as long as we want it to last. So we can just leave it and just check things. So we're going to set up some variables for this. So let's go back to our code. And because these are global settings, I'm going to put these in game code, which is the main branch point for all the code. So I'm going to open game code.js, and I've got at the top global variables. So this is where I'm going to add my global variables. So I'm going to create a few, and I'll explain as I'm doing them. So the first one I'm going to make is the one that lets us change the time for the demo. Now, the demo time is measured in milliseconds. So if I wanted 10 seconds of demo time, I would put 10,000. I will put 10,000. So I'm going to put a comment in there so I know what that is. Time in milliseconds for demo to last. So I'm going to put myself a comment, but 10,000 hard to type. So what I'm actually going to do is so I'm going to type it weird. I want it to last 25 seconds. So I'm going to say 25, but I'm going to say times 1,000. It just makes it clearer for me. The computer calculates 25 times 1,000 for me and puts it in the variable demo time, but it just makes it clearer for me. So I'm going to use that. I'm also going to have something to control whether the bricks get killed. So I'm going to call that kill bricks. Now this is going to be a Boolean value. So that's a true or false value. So in general, I want to kill the bricks during the game. So I'm going to set it as a default true. So I'm going to put a comment in here again, whether to kill bricks or not. So default true. And I might put on there for that time one, default 10 seconds, because that's what it currently is. And then I want another one to do with the ball. So at the minute, if I miss the ball with a paddle, I lose my ball. But if I'm concentrating on something else, I don't want to have to try and play the game. So I'm going to have another one that I'm going to call kill ball. And I'm going to set that to true by default as well. So whether ball dies when passing paddle. Okay, so they're just three variables. Now we've got to actually do some code changes. So the first one we'll do is the demo time one. So in gamecode.js, the bit we're looking for is a demo loop. So if we scroll down, here we go, demo loop. And at the minute, you can see this is the bit of code that takes us back to the title screen. It checks the game timer and says, oh, is it greater than 10,000, 10 milliseconds? Oh, they go back to the title screen. So we're going to replace that. And you can do this quite easily by double clicking. So I'll double click on the 10,000 and then that's highlighted that. And this is a good programming trick to use. When you highlight something, if you type, you overwrite it. So I want to replace that with demo time. Spelling's important, so let Notepad++ help you with the picker. Okay, so that's going to allow us to change the time for the demo. Let's test that by setting the demo to 2 seconds. So I'm just going to save that code. I'm going to go back to my breakout in the browser. I'm going to refresh. I'm just going to let the demo play and you'll see that it only lasts 2 seconds. There you go, back to the title. Okay, so that works. I've tested that briefly. Okay, so let's put it back to 25. Now the kill bricks bit. So that code is in bricks. That's where the bricks get killed. So if we go to bricks.js, so that's in Sprite, brick.js. I've already got loads of tabs open, but that's using the thing on the left hand side is the quick way of finding everything. You don't have to look through the tabs. And we're looking for collision check balls, which is just down from the constructor for the brick. Collision check balls. Now it's this bit here. So when we detect that a ball has hit this brick. What we do is we kill the brick and then we say, "Aye, it was this ball," and we return back control back to the game code. But what we want to do, we don't want to unless, so we don't want to do these 2 lines of code unless we're saying kill the bricks. So we're going to, just above this line, we're going to say if, and then we're going to say kill bricks. Now we can double check, if we go back to game code, just double check it was called kill bricks. Okay, so another thing you could do is you could copy that, go back to brick and say, all right, let's just make sure I spell that correct. Right, so if kill bricks is true, so you don't have to say this equals true. You can, it's a Boolean value. So you say if kill bricks, so is that set to true? If it is, then we want to do these 2 lines of code. Now the problem with C-based languages is that if you want to do 2 statements as part of a block, then you have to mark them as a block. And that's what these curly braces are for. Okay, so I'm just surrounding this dot kill and return all balls as a block statement. So if this kill bricks is true, do these 2 statements, do these 2 actions. At this point, we still actually want to come back out, but we want to, if we're not going to kill the bricks, okay, we still need to like say, oh, we've had a collision, we need to finish. So what we're going to do is we're going to say after this, we're going to say else, and I'm going to put the braces in anyway, even though it's only 1 statement, and then I'm going to say return null. So I'm going to pretend that no ball hit a brick. Okay, and that stops balls, hundreds and hundreds of balls spawning. Okay, so we're just using the global variable to just say, right, okay, in normal times, if that is true, just carry on, play the game, kill the brick, say what ball hit the brick. Okay, and we give control back to game code. If we set kill bricks to false, then whenever we actually detect a collision, we're just going to say, yeah, no collision, no collision, and the brick won't get destroyed. So we need to check that now. So if we go back, we save that, go back to game code. Okay, let's save that as well. Now we've got kill bricks is true, so this should carry on the game as normal. So I've saved everything. Let's go back to my browser, refresh. Now, so the demo's going to run for 25 seconds, and we'll see that the bricks still get destroyed, and then we're going to change that value. So the bricks are still getting destroyed. Okay, so that's working. Let's set this to false. So we're saying, oh, we're going to say don't kill the bricks. So we make sure we save it. So I haven't gone up to file save. I've just done Control S because that's the standard save for a file. Save time. Right, so refresh it this time. So when the demo plays this time, hopefully the ball will still bounce, but the bricks won't disappear. So this will allow me to like check that I've got things in the right place. You'll notice that some of the collision isn't perfect in this. I've done a good enough collision. When the bricks get destroyed, it works. Sometimes you get some weird things happen. Okay, so that bit works. So the other thing we want to be able to do is that if we play the game and I don't bounce the ball off my paddle, oh, it's not going to come down, is it, on that one? Let's just change the game level I'm looking at. So if I go into level data, let's just play level 1. So I'm just changing the generate level function and changing that variable that lets me force a level to play. So if we just save that, refresh. So when I play the game, this is currently what my level 1 looks like because I messed about with it in the last video. I don't want that to happen. Okay, I want the ball to just bounce off the bottom of the screen if I set my game code variable. So I don't want that to happen. I want to be able to just like concentrate on what's happening on the screen. Okay, so if we go back to game code, so we've got this kill ball, sorry. So we want to go to the code that stops this dying. So if we go to ball, that's one of the sprites, so ball.js. Right, this is the line that says, aha, see, if the ball's gone so far and the deadline is a value that's set below the level of the paddle, we instantly kill it. Okay, don't wait for it to go off screen or anything like that. We just say, right, kill it. It's got too low. So what we need to do is add into there just a little bit to say, right, well, okay, only do this if this is true. We've gone below the screen and we've decided to kill the ball. So again, let's just check in game code that we called it kill ball. So I'm going to copy that, paste that in there. So we're saying, right, okay, only kill the ball if we've said kill ball is true. So let's just check that we haven't broken the game. So I've got kill ball true, so I'm still saying it's true. So when I play my game, just to check this, I should, so I'm going to play the game. When the ball gets to the bottom, eventually, when it comes back down, oh, come on, come back down. Ah, it's still killing it. That's good. So let's now change and say, right, hang on. Let's make that false. Let's put the bricks back to be killed because that'll help as well. So we're now going to say kill ball false. So don't kill the ball. So that logic that we had in ball, because that's going to be false, this statement can't ever happen. So we can't issue the kill code to the ball. So let's make sure we save that. Make sure we save game code and let's play the game. So hopefully the ball's going to bounce. I'm starting a game. So I pressed 1 to start a game. Oh, come on, back down. It'll come back down eventually. Oh, I might clear the level. You never know. Oh. Right, well, there's the ball. I've missed it. See, it went off the bottom of the screen. Maybe I should have told the bricks not to die. Oh, come on, back down. Come on. Right. So that one's gone off the screen. Unfortunately, When I wrote the bouncing code, I didn't bother because it was for a breakout game. I didn't bother bouncing off the bottom of the screen, so we've got to make one more change. But at least it didn't kill it straight away. So you see, like, the game's playing, the ball's gone off the bottom of the browser and it's gone through the floor. God knows, it's still going down and down and down and down. Right, so let's go and fix that problem and add the extra bounce code in. So a ball, if we just, while we've got ball open, a ball is what we call a moving sprite. So it's an extension of moving sprite. So if we go to moving sprite, we should find our bounce code. Right, bounce inside, that's what the ball uses. So if you look, that's what happens. Look, it calls this dot bounce inside. So that's in moving sprite. And you can see, here's the bit that does horizontal bouncing. So we say if our X position is less than 0, and X is our left hand position, or if our right hand position, I don't know why that's in brackets, I don't know, it doesn't need to be, is greater than the width of the screen, then we bounce. And that's what happens here. We step back and then we reflect our velocity. But in the Y one, we're only bouncing off the top of the screen. So we just need to add one little bit more onto this bit. And we need to say, right, okay, so if we're at the top of the screen, so it basically mimics the horizontal, we say, or if our bottom is greater than or equal to this dot screen size, and I'm using the picker there because it stops me making spelling mistakes, and we want the height. Okay, now you can see how Notepad++ has highlighted the two brackets to show that they match up. So they're both in red there, showing that that's the opening and closing bracket. So that's a well-formed if statement. So we're just saying, right, okay, bounce off the bottom. So let's just save that and go back to our game and start again. The ball was still going. Start a game. Oh, please just bounce down the screen. Oh yeah, right. So this time, right, bouncing off the bottom. So I don't have to worry about the paddle. So I've got a couple of systems there that I can turn off and turn on. Okay, so going back to our game code, our normal way, so we need to put a default. Default is true for that as well. So I'm just putting those defaults because it's to help me when I like try and remember what these were for. So if I put those to true and I put that to 10, that's how the game was before I started this video. Okay. So 20 minutes in and we're back to where we started, but we've now got a little bit of flexibility, and that flexibility is going to help us when we're trying to like define our levels and we're trying to get blocks and things in exactly the right place. Okay, I mean, we just want to test, and we don't want to be like worrying about where's the ball, got to catch the ball, and all those sort of things. Okay, so we'll move on and we'll start adding a few more facilities that are going to allow us to make more flexible levels, and then we'll make some new levels. Okay.